Um, First, before we get into the entire process, let me map out what everything looks like first, right? For those of you who are not familiar with what the content process should look like, let me see if this one's not working. I just crashed. Fantastic. But yeah, for those of you who are not familiar with what the entire content process looks like, it starts something like this. Okay, you first start off with your video idea, right? And then you go into your title and thumbnail, title plus thumbnail. You go into your script, and you go into recording your video, right, or voiceover, and then you go into editing your video before you go ahead and upload your video, right? This is essentially the entire content process here. And it's important to have a good understanding of, okay, like these are all of the different parts of the content process. And whenever we look at any given channel, we can go in here and be like, okay, like this is the bottleneck, right? This is where I'm like spending the most amount of time on, whether it's editing, whether it's uploading, whether it's recording the voiceover, and then making an effort to go ahead and unlock what that bottleneck is, right? And before we get into all of that, right? When I say like bottleneck, right, it's basically referring to what is stopping you from progressing. Okay. And in any given YouTube channel, we operate, or like in any given business, we operate on this theory. It's called the theory of constraints, right? I think some of you might have heard of this before. This is a pretty common business term where it's like at any given point in a business or YouTube channel, there can only be one constraint. Okay, that means there's only ever one bottleneck in this entire process of creating a video, right? It can only either be, that the idea is really bad, then you just have to spend all of your time generating video ideas, right? And this will be your highest point of leverage. Or it can only ever be that the title and thumbnail is the main thing that's blocking you. Okay, if the title and thumbnail is the main thing that's blocking you, then you just got to spend way more time on the title and thumbnail. If it's the script, then spend more time on the script, right? Maybe spend more time editing the script. Maybe that's playing around with the subscriber script generator. And then whether it's recording a voiceover, then just go to record more. Whether it's editing, then you just edit more, right? Or you find better systems to edit. And then lastly, and then if it's uploading is never ever the bottleneck, right? So it's only like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's either one of these steps. Okay, so before we even get into any of this, I want you guys to answer me inside of the chat. What is the bottleneck right now, or what do you think is the bottleneck right now in your YouTube channel? And it can, once again, only be one of these things, right? It can only be the idea, the title and thumbnail, the script, the recording of video, and all the editing, right? It's one of these 5 things. If you guys just want to type in the chat so I know where to spend more time on today, which of these is ever the bottleneck? Editing, video editing, editing. Okay. Is it editing for everyone? No one's really struggling with title and thumbnail. Okay, Richard said editing for sure. Maybe title, thumbnail, number 1. Scripting and editing.
Idea, title, and thumbnail.
Idea, title, and thumbnail. Okay, so there's a couple people with like title and thumbnail, ideas and scripting. Okay, so it's kind of a mix. Okay, everyone was initially editing. Title and thumbnail is 2. Okay, so I mean mainly what it sounds like that that a lot of people are struggling with is a little bit of everything, right? And but like this is the very first step to understanding, like, hey, like where should I spend a lot of my time on? Where should I go and like seek a bunch more YouTube videos out on? Where should I go seek education from Brian out on? Or where should I be spending my time on? What kind of questions I should be asking, right? because once you really understand this, like this will allow you to allocate your time a lot more efficiently. Because really, sometimes, right, a lot of the faults that I see you guys run into is that maybe you really like just writing the script, right? So maybe you just spend a bunch of time writing the script and then you don't spend any time doing anything else, which is definitely a big fault, right? If you spend all your time writing the script and then you don't spend any time editing, if editing is the bottleneck, then you're never going to be able to solve this, right? So what I want to do today is I want to give you guys like, okay, what is some of the thinking that you can do in order to solve these problems, right? Whether you're on the idea, title, and thumbnail, script, recording video, voiceover, editing, and editing and uploading the video. Uploading the video is like almost never ever the bottleneck. Okay, so let's